Alright everybody, here we go again. Let's see, I picked this drawing or this portrait or this this model for a couple reasons. One, I haven't drawn a girl in a while. Girls are a little bit tougher for me. She's in a very dynamic pose, so we're kind of looking up at her. And it's going to be a little difficult because she has glasses on, and that just adds one more thing to the face that just gives me one more thing to have to try and figure out. So I figured, well, what better drawing to do on this channel than to share something that I find might be difficult for me, because I think a lot of people that watch my stuff are beginners and they feel that, you know, everything's very difficult themselves. So this is just to let you see how I handle something that I think is difficult. I'm going to start with some vine charcoal. This is just very thin, soft charcoal. And at this stage, what I like to do is just figure out where I want everything on the paper. You know, if I want the head to be this big, or do I want the head to be this big? You know, so this is just, and this charcoal here is actually pretty good for that. So I think I'm going to want the head, let's see if I'm on the camera. This is about the top. Alright, so let's just say we'll make the top of the head up here. Let me zoom out just a little bit. There we go. So if I'm going to say maybe the top here, where do I want the chin to be? And wherever I put the chin is going to determine how big the features are in the face, how much am I going to show. You know, if I say I want the chin to be up here, well then that's going to leave a lot of extra room down here. So I want the face to be pretty big. It looks like, looking at the picture, her chin probably comes about halfway on the picture. So I'm going to just kind of look at my canvas here, or my blank paper, and maybe I'll just say I want the chin to be about here. Okay? So we're just establishing these landmarks. Top of the head up here, chin here, and so I'm just going to kind of lightly sketch sort of the head. Try and get the tilt in here. Very loose. I'm not putting pressure on myself. Okay, I'm just getting the overall placement. Notice I'm not thinking about glasses, I'm not thinking about features. I'm thinking about the tilt of the head and the size of the head. And then we can just whittle everything down from there. I'm looking at now the space that's on this side, the space on this side. The space is here. How much of the hair, you know, is the hair going to come out maybe out this way? Up here, the hair might come out. Looks like it'll come down this way. See, so now we're just kind of getting a layout of the head. And I'm asking myself, does this look like about the size that I want it on the paper? And so far I think it's okay. I'm not measuring width and height and all that stuff. I'm just using my feeling to just feel, does it feel right? I'm looking at the neck, and the hair, how it comes down this way. Looks like the hair is going to pretty much form this little sliver, this little triangle of her neck and chest area. The hair, this is all hair over here. This is all hair over here. And if that's the hair, shoulder would be over this way. You don't even see the shoulder on this side. So I think that's kind of how I want the picture to lay out. And then now that I did this layout, you know, I can decide if I want to change anything. Do I want to move it over? Do I want to raise it up? Do I want to make the face bigger? If I want to make the face bigger, I just lower the chin and adjust everything. What I like about charcoal too is you can get pretty fast portraits done, and it doesn't take you, you know, days and days or weeks and weeks. I mean, with charcoal, a lot of times you can finish a portrait in just a few hours. So, all right. So now looking at the face, I'm going to try and decide, you know, where everything is. Now, because we're looking up at her, we're going to see more of the bottom half of her face and less of the top half, because everything kind of, what's the word? It's I forgot the word. It's where the perspective changes. I almost said foreshadowing, but it's not foreshadowing. Normally I'd find where the eyebrows are and then the nose. Can't really see the eyebrows, so I'm just going to guess, you know, just kind of divide it where the glasses are. Like maybe the glasses look like they come up this way. Well, let's see. First, before we do that, let me look at like where the center of the face is, right? She's tilted a little bit, so we're seeing slightly more of the right-hand side of her face. So I'm just going to, just for reference, I'm just going to draw a line. Break the face right down the middle, like this. Okay, notice we could see more of this side than this side. That's because she's slightly turned more. So now I want to see the angle, and I can kind of get that by maybe looking at her glasses, looking at her nose. You know, so maybe the angle's like that. I'm gonna, for this part, I'm gonna guess where her nose is. Just looking at her face. I'm gonna guess. It looks like the bottom of her nose, maybe a little less than half the distance. So if I divide this in half, I imagine where the half is. Maybe the nose is, I don't know, maybe the nose is right in here. Just guessing. I'm just putting this line here. I'm keeping that angle of her face. And if that's her nose, yeah, I'm going to say, guessing here, kind of just, and I'm looking at the space above her forehead. So this sort of like shape here. See this shape right here? I'm just kind of looking at that. And then the nose. She has a very thin nose. So see, I'm not even drawing really any nose or any shape. I'm just kind of looking at placeholders, you know, like, I mean, you can just draw a triangle if you want here. Okay? It's just to give me an idea of where everything might go. Okay? I'm going to say maybe this is the bottom of the glasses here. Trying to keep it loose. Right? Not thinking too much, but see, just, you know, without getting overwhelmed by the drawing, I'm just trying to take one tiny thing at a time. I'm not going to even worry about what's inside the glasses right now. I'm looking at just the overall big picture. If the glasses are there, is this about the size of the nose? You know, maybe the nose is goes a little lower. Gonna guess where the lips are. Again, this is very soft charcoal, so it's very easy to just make these marks, and then, you know, I can always change them. Now you might be looking at this going, oh, he's drawing the lips. I'm not thinking I'm drawing lips. I'm looking at just the shape. This overall shape on the picture, and I'm going, okay, does this look like about the right size? Is this about the right size of her mouth? And then where does that, how much room does that leave for the chin? Maybe this isn't, maybe if I put the mouth here, the chin has to be a little lower. So see, I can just use my finger and erase and lower things. Very easily with this kind of charcoal. Okay, so if this is her chin here, okay, this is sort of the chin area. She's got this rhythm here where the shadow is going to be. See, so what we're doing is we're just getting our placements down, right? Asking ourselves, how does this feel? Feels pretty good so far to me. Not going to worry too much about, again, details. Aside from how is it looking? Alright, so see, we're not even, what are we, not even 15 minutes into it, and we're already getting something down. Don't know if it looks like her yet, but I know a few things. I know that it looks like we got the tilt pretty good. I might have tilted her just a little bit more than she is in real life. Asking myself, does her face need to be skinnier, fatter? Not fatter, but wider? Does her forehead need to be higher or lower? Those are all things we can maybe add as we go along. But now, I want to start using my number 4 charcoal pencil, and we'll start putting some marks down, more permanent marks. That, you know, this stuff here is really soft. This stuff here is, it's still soft, but it's a little harder to erase. This is going to be darker, as you'll see. So because I'm saying this is where the nose is, I can kind of see like where the glasses are going to go. You know, the middle of the glasses, you know, go over the bridge, where the bridge of the nose is. This is gonna be a challenge. I'm trying not to think. This is where I kind of not. I don't know if I'm just gonna say struggle, but I'm trying not to draw lines. I'm trying to look at what's dark and what's not dark and just draw that. So I know it's dark underneath the glasses. I can't really see too much. I mean, I don't really want to work too much inside the glasses yet. So I'm going to try and work on what I do know. I do know where the outside of the face is. So I'm just going to say, because remember I laid it out. This is kind of where I want everything to be. So I'm going to just establish this angle here of the face. And let me just double check. Chin to the nose. I'm going to do some comparative measuring here the best that I can. And I'm going to look at the bottom of the chin to the bottom of her nose and compare that to something. See, that the bottom of the chin to the bottom of her nose looks like it goes to the middle of her forehead. That's a little too short. Looks like it goes to about there. So see, I think we might need to adjust her chin just a little bit lower, which means I might have to then move the mouth up. See, I think her nose is a little too small. Alright, so see, this is where we're going to have to start changing some things. Because now I'm looking at the nose, imagining the tip of her nose, or from the bottom of the bottom of her nose to, say, the tip. Let me compare that to what the glasses look like. It's probably about the size of half the glasses. That's probably the size of the nose. So maybe just make the nose a little bit bigger. So see, I'm always picking two things to compare. I'm just looking at the size, the tip of her nose to the bottom of her nose, bring it over to the glasses, tip of the nose to the bottom of the nose, bring it over to the glasses, and it's almost about halfway. So now that tells me this is kind of where I want to lock the nose in to be. Okay, so if that's the nose, that means I want to lock in the glasses so they stay about the same. I want to try and maintain the same bottom of the glasses here. now we know the bottom of the nose to about the middle of her forehead is roughly the size of the bottom of her nose to her chin. So her chin will be about here. So you see we've adjusted things now on the face. And so now the mouth is no longer right here where I had it before. It looks like the mouth is going to be a little lower. Her philtrum is going to be right in here. And it looks more elongated because of the angle that we're looking up at. So see, we've already lowered the mouth now. She's got really pretty full lips. Okay. Just kind of rubbing this out. We don't need this to be super dark right here, but we can now see what I was looking at. I mean, how everything's just adjusting down. So you could see how the drawing really changes as we go on. I'm just going to lightly sketch in some nostrils here. I want to look at be mindful of how much space we're leaving between the side of the nose how much space in between the nostrils we're going to leave. Yeah, I'm just looking at the shape. Kind of looks like a kidney shape. And then I'm going to look at the space in between. Because that's a pretty, look, you don't think it's that big a deal, but that's actually a big part of her likeness, is the way her nose is right here. Kind of looks like a pig right there. But I'm also thinking about where the shadows are going to hit. You know, the light's hitting this part of her face. This part's all kind of shadowed, right? This is all shadow. Shadow comes down. Under her lip. This is going to be her lip here. You'll notice I kind of jump all over the place. That's just sort of how I find it most comfortable to draw. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions, just please let me know. I appreciate it. I thank everybody that's been commenting on my last drawing that I did of Aaron. I got a few people that actually contacted me saying, hey, can you draw somebody that I love, or I got somebody that would really love a portrait, can you draw it for me? And my answer is sure, just contact me and I'll let you know if I'm available and able to do it. Alright, so now I'm looking at kind of like her glasses. How far do they come out to her face? Alright, I don't want to go too dark here yet. You know, if you look at the glasses, they're clear around the outside, darker on the inside. So I got to be careful that I don't go too dark up here. You know, I'm just kind of using my finger to blend it a little bit, just to make it a little easier for me to visualize things. So if this is the side of her face, looks like it comes up. Just imagining through the glasses up here, and this is kind of where I had her forehead before. Sorry if you hear my kids yelling in the background there. This is what I have to put up with social distance schooling and things. Alright. Not sure if that's enough forehead I'm leaving up here. Might be. But again, at this stage, we're just kind of adding things here and there, sitting back, and if anything looks like it's out of place, adjust it accordingly. This space looks pretty good. If this is the glasses here. Now remember, we're keeping the line. We want to keep this angle the same, so I don't want to draw the glasses lower because that'll look off. So I also want to kind of make sure we establish this side of the face. All right. So I'm going to slowly start adding more detail. I like to work out and then work in. So what do I want to do here? How do I want to do the glasses? I might be able to I'll use my soft charcoal to just kind of give me an idea where the eyes are going to be. So if that's the edge of the glasses, then it looks like the eye is going to be, it's on the lower half of the glasses, so it's not up here. The eyes are actually down lower half, and it's kind of like right in here. Doesn't come all the way over, so see, these are things I'm looking at. How far does the eye come over? How much space does it leave to the edge of the glasses? And what kind of shape are the eyes? The actual eyes, not the inner detail. So it's kind of like a little diamond, it looks like, right? Like, it comes like this. The eyes are in here. Just placeholders is what I'm looking at right here. Eye there. Come over to this side. This comes all the way over to wherever the side of the face is going to be. So it does kind of look like once, you know, here's the glasses here. It's kind of curving up as we're at the side of the face. So here's the side of the face. The glasses are already curving up. It looks like something, I don't know. That might change. Right now I don't know if those are exactly equal or not, but again, if the eyes are here, comes to here. There's a little clear spot that's going to be in this area. So see, I'm just kind of putting little placeholders down, just seeing, does that feel right? The eyes in this area, and leave, you know, and then I'm looking at the space, the distance here, the distance here. I'm looking at that in the glasses. I'm not looking at anything else. I'm not looking at shadows or anything like that. Okay, so guessing that's about the side of the head beneath the glasses. And to establish the top of the glasses. Looking at the inner part of the glasses. That comes right up to where the eye is going to be. Gets very low down in here. Very thin. Comes up. And then just meets this side. This is a little thicker up here because this is where the edge is. I see a little shape right, let's see, right about here on the glasses. That causes this to come out. Not trying to think about too much detail, but I kind of am. This is all dark in here. And so I'm also looking at this dark shape. You know, this width. Did I make it too big? Not big enough? I think that's okay. And hopefully this is going to be a fun picture to draw with the glasses. Because glasses, you can get a lot of cool reflections and cool effects. Alright, what are we at? We are 30, almost 35 minutes in. Not bad, we're getting somewhere. Looking inside the glass, well, let's see. Before I get too much detail, I think I'm going to start just putting the eyes in a little bit. So starting from this side, where does the eye start? I'm going to say it starts about here. Looks like it kind of comes, curves this way, and then kind of steps down. And then this this is all in shadow. And then the eye here, it's dark in this area. Now I'm looking at just the dark. I'm trying to just look at dark shapes. If you look closely on the picture, you'll see there's this little like area right here that's not dark. But everything else around it is dark. And sometimes I squint when I do this. So this is all dark in here. Comes out. So notice I'm not thinking about the eye. I'm not thinking about where the iris is and the pupil and all that stuff. I'm just looking at the shadows and the spaces and stuff. So I'm already seeing we might have an issue. This part of the glasses doesn't look like it's dropping down. This looks too flat right here. I think it needs to be a little rounder. I'm noticing the shape is not correct on the glasses. So I need to now ask myself, how am I going to change that? Let me compare. So I think the eyes are where I want them to be. So I don't want to move the eye up or the nose. I think we just have to work. I have to work on this shape in here. So because look what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this part of the glasses. See this shape here? Kind of looks like a, not really a triangle, but like a wedge of cantaloupe. This little white part. That doesn't look like the picture. The picture, that shape is not the same. So I want to fix that. So I'm just using my eraser. And I want to try and get that shape. Let's see, if this is this area, okay. See, this is why I like doing these live videos, because you can now see what I go through and the process that it takes me. So I'm lowering this, what you see here, that was the outside before. Now I'm making that the inside, which means the outside is now a little lower. Hopefully this is not it too big. Trying to draw the shadow inside where that's going to be. a shadow in this area. Up top, right about starting here, if you notice in the picture, there's this like shadow that comes down and then cuts right across. And that's a shadow. That's actually a pretty dark one. You can kind of see where the top of the, you know, the ball, the eye would be like in this area, and everything else is kind of shadow. All right. Looks like a mess right now, but this is what I do, is I just keep on changing things, adding detail as we go along. Don't add too much in the beginning because it's probably just all going to change. All right. So see, I'm just doing a little at a time. As far as the structure of things. I don't yet know if I got the shape correct on this either. So maybe I'll do the other eye now. Looks like the inside of the glasses is going to come this way, come down. So I'm establishing this rim, the rim of the glasses, because I'm going to use that to base where the eye starts. If you look at the picture, it looks like it's right almost next to where it starts. And I'll actually use the top of her other eye to kind of gauge, you know, where it's going to be over here. So that's the top there. Draw kind of like a right in there. That'll be the top. So now I know I don't have to go above that line. So I'm just going to kind of draw it like this. Bring it down to where I had it before, keeping in mind how much space is over here. Again, I'm just going to look at the outside shape. I'm not going to worry about the inside yet. Outside, it just kind of makes this shape down. Okay. All right, so the eyes are going to be in that area. Looks like below the eye, there's a shadow. Comes across this way. So that's all shadow. Which actually comes down on the face right here. All right, let's see. We got about 10 minutes left before I'm going to take a break. Looking in the glasses up here, it looks like there's a line, a reflective line that's right here. It's really dark. Actually, kind of looks like this comes. See a reflection. Let's see. This has a line. So it kind of comes like this in the glasses, and it looks like it meets right. It almost looks like there's a triangle that kind of meets down in the eyes like that. This should be fun. If I can get this right, it should be fun to draw these little things in the glasses. We'll see. We'll see if I can do it justice here. Of course, the whole glasses are going to have to be filled in because it's not, you shouldn't see any white like this white here. We're not going to be able to see that. So, I mean, that's all going to be shadowed over, blended in. But again, we're just doing little things at a time. Not going to worry too much about the hair yet. But I do like kind of framing the face. And slowly narrowing things down. Do I like the glasses? I think so. So this has to be darker in here. If I look at the nose, there's this like shadow line that comes down. And that's kind of like, this is a little darker. First of all, this is all, looking at the overall shadow is here, comes down. This is all shadow. I'm looking at the light here and trying to shade around that light. Leave this blank here. If the lip's gonna be right here, I'm gonna say this is the corner of her mouth. Kind of stair steps up. ladder steps up. Bottom of the lip. Let's see how big her lips are. So I'll just say that's the bottom in that area. And then if that's the case, this is all kind of in shadow over here. So I'm just doing this. See, by creating shadow here, I'm leaving this white. I'm looking at the white area, how it comes down this way. That's all white. This is all in shadow. I keep saying white. I just mean that's like the light area. There's a shadow that comes like this. This cast shadow from the nose comes out and down right above the lips. Comes up into the fulcrum area. So that's the darker area here. So see, it's just the longer you draw, the more you start seeing these little things. For example, right underneath this nose, this nostril, there's a darker cast shadow like this. I'm making it probably a little darker than I need to right now, but that's just to show you what I'm seeing. There's a little dark shadow right here. There's a little dark shadow on the other one. Leaves this light here. Now see this, right now I have this drooping down really low, but actually it looks like it comes up and just leaves that little space in there. Shade in the lips a little bit. Shade in the lips. All right, got about 3 minutes to go. This line here is going to be, since it's a shadow line, it's going to be really more defined, and then just going to kind of fade off. Same here. That's going to come out, and then that's going to fade out. All right, how are we looking? Alright, I think after we come back from our break, we're going to start doing more blending here. working on the finer details and bringing the face to life, and then after that we'll come out and start working on the hair. And then hopefully we'll be done within the next couple hours. Hopefully, if you like these long videos, leave me a comment and let me know. I happen to like them. I think they're relaxing. You can watch these kinds of videos with a drink in your hand. You can be doing other things and just keep looking up and seeing how the drawing's coming along. If you're like me and you learn from watching people, you can watch what I'm doing and get some ideas if you're an artist and on what you can do for your own art. Hair's going to come out this way, right past the glasses, just right past the glasses. See that? And then it comes up this way. I'm kind of getting a little ahead of myself here with the hair, but sometimes it helps me to see, it kind of helps me lock things in when I do that. Alright, let me take a break and we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and I think we're going to start working on some shading. There we go. Alright. Alrighty. Let's get your head in the game there, Jeff. Alright. So we're going to start blending and shading, and this is where hopefully we're going to take the drawing to a whole new level. So I'm just looking at the picture and trying to see where it's going to be a little darker. Like right now I have this all about the same, but I know it should be a little darker around the nose, and then it'll get lighter as it goes out this way, and then it gets a little darker on the edge. The cheeks are higher up on the face, so I want to leave this a little bit lighter. So what I'm doing is just laying down some tone, so when I blend it, it'll be more easier to blend. So this is all shadow. In the glasses, I can see there's a darker cast shadow here. Comes out to the rim of the glasses. But that's not as dark as the actual eye, so I gotta make sure the eye is gonna be darker. You can't even see really inside the eye. It's just super dark. This is going to be very interesting to draw because I'm not used to not having like value and detail inside the eye. This is actually all like shadow. So, yeah, this is very interesting. I'm looking at this little light shape here, so I'm trying to draw that shape, how it meets up with the shadow here, and then also the This is all in shadow here, but not as dark as the eye, so I'm trying to keep that mindful. Alright, this is the super kind of dark up in here. And then if I look really closely, inside this little shadow right here of the glasses, there's like this, I don't know, something reflecting here that divides this in half, right around this, the bridge of the glasses. So I'm just going to draw a little line here, divide that. And if you look right here, eraser. It's very hard to erase that dark charcoal. Let's erase this big blotch here. All right. Okay, and let me just start kind of blending in a little bit here. I see this line right here. This a little here, soften that. I'll just blend it all right now. You can always use our eraser to kind of pull out things. Now that we're going to start going along further. Just going to kind of add some tone to the forehead. We don't need the forehead pure white at this point. Look how that makes like a nice skin tone. And I'm just using some rolled up paper. Sort of my little homemade blending stump. In fact, let's just start blending the whole face. That's what I said I was going to do anyway, so. like starting where I know it's darker and then moving out. See, this is where you're going to start getting the smoother tones, but we're going to create basically light and shadow here. So I'm going to try and leave the light part right now, even though that's too white. It's not really going to be that white. And I know that the light is going to be hitting the very tip of the nose, so I'm going to keep that in mind. If I leave that lighter, it'll give that impression that it's coming off the face. Actually, I'm even noticing the little things, like there's going to be a shadow right in here. This part's going to be a little bit darker right here. So we'll have to remember that. This is darker here. So see, just by making this dark right here, it's going to make the nose stand out a little more, which is exactly what we want. We want the nose to look like it's coming off the face. Okay. This is darker underneath the eye here. Just going to come out here, create this shadow. And I also try and shade like almost around like the form. Like I know this comes down this side of the face is sort of like this plane. You can see the plane change, how the shadow kind of goes out and then comes down. That's because this part of the face is coming down. It's the side plane of the face. This is underneath the lips, which is always a little bit darker. A little bit darker in this area. So I'm kind of losing some of the shading that I had before, but that's okay. I'd rather not have white paper showing at this point, so I'm just kind of blending away things. Knock this down just a little bit. Doesn't need to be that white. All right, so it's kind of neat, huh? How it's slowly coming together. So this kind of flattens everything out too, what I'm doing here. You know, it's flattening everything, and because we're losing some of the detail, but I'm going to hopefully bring that all back out again. So right. Drawing complete. I wish. All right. Let's work a little more on the eyes and glasses. Just making more adjustments. Looking at these shapes. That's probably one of the darkest parts right now. But see, just by adding these darker shadows, it's going to start making the eyes. It's going to really make the glasses look more realistic. So I'm looking at what's the darkest parts inside the glasses. This is the darkest inside the glasses. And then the eyes are a little bit darker, but this is a little darker. Sharpen my pencil. So I think I'm going to start using my eraser. We'll start bringing out a few things. Oh. Here's my little blending stump. Just start bringing out a little bit of the bright spots in here. It's not going to be this bright, but I'll just erase a little here. So I can reshape it. Got this shadow here. See, it's already kind of looking like some reflection, some light is coming through. I like that effect. I'm trying not to draw too many lines. I don't want to make it, the more lines I draw, the more cartoony it looks. I don't want it to look like a cartoon drawing. By knocking down this other part of the glasses here and leaving that white, that's going to really give the impression that that is catching reflection. This is going to be a little bit darker underneath here. So I'm going to try and leave that as white as I can. And then I'll use my eraser to pull out more whites later. But for now, let's just leave that white. It's very tough for me to know exactly what I'm drawing here because I can't see any details in here. So I'm just kind of adding some charcoal in here, blending it. You know, there's a spot above the eyelid here that's lighter, so I'm trying to keep that lighter. And in order to do that, I'm just shading around it. I think this right now is a little too bright, so let's just blend this in a little bit lower. We're just knocking this down a little bit. That's better. See how it looks like the light is shining in? Like we're still able to see a little bit here. Now let's compare. Right now these are about the same value. In the drawing though, I mean in the portrait, I think these are supposed to be a little brighter than this. So I'm just going to knock this down just a little. Just so it's not quite as bright. I think we're getting better there. Again, I want this to be very defined shape here. Looks like it's important that this stays dark like this. That is the darkest point. Everything else is pretty blended in there. All right. Maybe for now we'll jump over, work on the other side a little bit. You can't really see, you know, if I had to guess, it looks like the eye is about, maybe I'll just kind of draw a little suggestion of it, because I can kind of see a little bit in there. Kind of just barely see a little indication of the eye. In fact, if I look closely, maybe I'll even do that here. Let me just pull a little bit out. right. So it's like we have the eye in there, but again, it's very, very dark. You can't see any highlights in the eye or anything. I have to keep sharpening my pencil because I'm shading so much. It's getting pretty low. All right. I want to establish this part. If anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know. Really appreciate everybody that watches these videos. I know they're not the most exciting, but I'm not trying to be fake and entertain with, you know, something, you know, I'm trying to make this channel for you to learn, or for people to learn how these drawings are made. Okay, hold on 1 second. Trying to keep mindful of this little reflection that's up here. It kind of comes across right there. And the other side, where I had it, it's kind of right here. And to make that really stand out, I gotta make it dark above it. This triangle looking shape. See, this is the fun part for me. This is kind of like very relaxing. That's what I like about drawing. You know, today, if I wasn't going to be drawing, I was just going to be sitting there on Facebook or on my couch. I'm just looking at the time, and I was like, you know, I could be drawing right now and making some content for my channel. I love when people watch my stuff and leave me comments. It really makes my day. I love logging in and reading your comments. See, that's neat right there. That gives it like this, just that little line makes it really sells the illusion of being a reflection. So this part, this inner part of the eye is darker. Not as dark as up here. So that's why I'm just going to keep knocking this back down and blending it in. I want this to be the darkest part, but this has to be dark too right here. This side's going to be the lighter side. Right here on the glasses is going to be light. This is, if you look at the picture right here, this is very light. Well, I don't know if I got the glasses exactly accurate, but I don't know if I want to worry too much about that. Again, I'm not trying to create a photocopy. I'm trying to just create a cool looking picture based on the model that's in there. So I don't want to think and beat myself up too much over something that is really not going to be that big a deal. Like the eyes right now, you know, the closer you look, the more you might see like, oh, I can't even see an eye in there. But when you're going to look at this picture from far away, your brain's going to fill in a lot of this information. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Just trying to pull out little highlights on the glasses. That I see. That one's the bright one. Little one here. Let me add that shadow again here. Remember I was saying there's a shadow right here? It's a little darker as it comes up and around the nose. And it goes down into here. This is a very sharp shadow right here. Sorry that I'm not very talkative. You know, it's one of the reasons why I haven't been filming. Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I haven't been filming, but sometimes some of the things that keep me away from filming is knowing that I don't really know what what I'm saying. Sometimes I just get in this mode of just I want to focus on drawing, and then I feel like I'm boring everybody. But hopefully with the music in the background and the sound that you hear, this sound of me blending and the pencil hitting the paper, like a lot of that I find relaxing. So maybe you do too. See how I'm just coloring around the nose kind of makes the nose a little bit, starts to stand out a little bit. Right. Oop. And I think once we start adding the hair and stuff, it's really going to start making a huge difference. All right. Let's start focusing a little more on the nose, and of course I keep jumping back to this eye. I think we'll work more on the eye in a little bit. I think I'm getting too focused on that little area, and I really I think it's not going to matter, because as you see, as we get further in the drawing and we end up pulling back from the drawing and looking at it, I think the illusion of what we're doing with the glasses is going to sell itself. So I'm looking at the shape of the nostrils again. Her nostrils are actually, looks like it's going to help get her likeness, because they're very this angle is very unique to capturing her likeness. Again, I'm looking at the shape of the nostril. I'm trying to look at how close they are to the side of her nose. I want to look at the space in between underneath here. Make sure they're not too far apart. Trim again, so it's a little darker here as it meets down where the lips are. Looking at the shadow right above the lips. Comes up. It meets the fulcrum. Filtrum? Fulcrum? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing these things. Filtrum? I think it's filtrum. I don't know where I'm getting fulcrum from. See, it's kind of giving the illusion that sun is hitting her. A little lighter here maybe on the side of the nose. This is the top, so making sure that's getting some light. Yep. Notice how most of this that we've done, like, we haven't really even been measuring anything. We're just kind of trusting our eyes to just see with how things look. And then everything else just kind of falls into place. So it's really brighter up here. Tapers off, gets a little lighter as it goes down. I want to make sure that it's light right where this cast shadow is. And it's really light right in here. You know, the transition between this light and this dark, if you look at the picture, it's pretty noticeable. So I'm trying to make sure we're keeping that there. It's a shadow that comes down to the fulcrum. Filtrum. Jeez. Oh man. Maybe I should just stop talking. So there's a shadow right here. These blending steps are good for like adding shadows. Again, it's more dark underneath the nose. So I can put that little darker shadow right there. A little darker here. A little darker right in there. try and kind of reshape, not reshape, but re-establish the lip here. Trying not to draw a line. I'm trying to just very lightly establish the outline here. And then I might even use my little blending stump to just kind of knock it down and pull that charcoal into the lips. Again, if there's a sharp line there, it's going to look like lip liner makeup, and I don't want that. She's not wearing lip liner. So I'm just sitting back looking at it, trying to ask myself if it's accurate shape-wise, you know, if it looks like it's there. This side looks like it's maybe a little bit brighter, maybe just slightly. Her bottom lip catches more light, so I'm just kind of removing some of the tone. But I'm also losing, you know, underneath the bottom lip is where it gets a little dark. So I'm trying to make sure we don't lose that. And then looking at the shadows around the lips, I want to make sure we don't lose that either. So I'm just going to lay some more charcoal down. I'm hoping this shadow is going to help accentuate the lips. Adding this shadow below, you know, kind of like what we did around the nose. If we do it below, it's going to make the lips stand out. I mean, that's my intention at least. It's looking a little messy right now, but that's okay. These are works in progress. trying to make sure we kind of keep a little lighter area in here. If you look at the picture, I kind of see that there. Alright, I think I'm at the stage now. Let's see. Well, we only got about 5 minutes left. Normally what I start to do is start working on the hair a little bit so it'll put the face more in perspective. Like right now the face looks really dark. And that's because there's all this white around it. But once I start putting in the darkness of the hair, then the face is not going to look so dark. So I think I'm going to start doing that. But I don't want to just do that now with only 5 minutes left. So maybe I'll just kind of look a little bit closely and just reestablish things about the face here. I think the shape looks okay. Looks like the lips I can maybe lighten up a little. This is my little Tombow Mono Zero eraser, and it's really good for getting, like, if you want to shape something. It's like a really fine eraser. I think I have a link to it in my description if anybody doesn't know what it is or is looking for one. I got it on Amazon. I don't remember how much it was, but it's not that much money. All right. So I think we're doing pretty good. I think, like I said, once we start adding dark tones for the hair, then it'll give us a better idea of what we need to do, if anything, for, you know, the face, reestablishing some of the dark values. This line's very defined here because the separation of the light and the dark, so I want to make sure this is very defined. Alright, so I got a couple minutes. I might just call it right now. Download all the footage off my camera. In fact, let's zoom out a little bit here so we'll be set up for the next part. See how it's looking nice the further away you go. Alright, so that's where we're at now. We'll come back, we'll add the hair, and then we'll do some final touches probably in a time lapse. But I'll come back in real time, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back again. So, what did I say we were going to work on? The hair. First, let me kind of just see where things are going to be at here. I think the shoulder is going to be around in this area, because it's below the chin. You don't see the shoulder on the other side, but the hair literally comes right past the glasses. This is a 6B charcoal pencil, and I'm just sort of using the side of it to kind of indicate or draw how I want it to be. So I'm just looking at the overall shape, trying to determine how high up off the hair it's going to be. It's darker over here. Kind of goes this direction here. And right here is where it turns down. Comes out. Looking at the angle that it's coming from the glasses. Comes out at this angle. And how far out does it go before it starts to turn? And it looks like it starts turning, looking at the nose, going over to the side, and it's just past that. So right about here, I'm going to say kind of comes out. This is all dark in here. In fact, I can even, this is my 6B I said, but there's also like these compressed charcoal sticks here that also, I use this sometimes when it's for the dark areas. And to make the face really stand out, I'm really going to want it to be dark around the face. Made her face a little too round, but that's alright, we might be able to adjust that. It's one thing I've learned with drawing is sometimes you think you've gone too far or you've screwed up. You really nothing's really that hard to fix if you find that you messed up. So I'm looking at the outside shape, kind of comes down. Got some hairs that come out here, go below the shoulder. Hair comes out this way. And I'm just trying to follow that sort of like the direction of the hair. You know, this hair in here kind of starts, it looks like it's coming back this direction. Now under the chin, see on the picture, this is all going to be dark in here. So just looking at tone, you got this dark area underneath the chin. And it looks like it comes down. And the hair kind of meets, this is where I had the neck before, but it looks like that might be a little wrong. The hair kind of is all coming in this direction. Some of it comes down this way. So see, I'm just trying to get the flow of the hair. I'm not really trying to draw hair, but I'm looking at where the shadows are of the hair, indicate direction. And I want to make sure I get right around where the glasses are. And be dark below that. Make the glasses stand out. Above the glasses, that's all going to be dark. Along this side of the forehead, this is all dark. Lightens up here, so I'm not... This isn't going to be too dark. There is hair here, right? So this is all hair. This is a little higher up in here. And then it looks like right above where the glasses are, right up in this area, it looks like it starts to get dark again. So see, I'm almost coloring like it's a coloring book. I'm not drawing hair. I'm just looking at that this is darker than this side, so I'm darkening this all up. But I want to also not come out too far. You know, a lot of times getting a person's likeness is getting just the shape of their hair. So this is kind of comes out down here. Looks like, how far down does it come? Right when it starts getting around the lips, it kind of flares out a little bit as it comes down. And this looks like it cuts right across the neck. Now, I'm going to make this line a little dark here. I just want to make sure we don't lose where the face is here. But if you look at the picture, it's really dark. It looks like right around this area starts getting dark. You see that? So I'm just drawing that this is darker here. And it comes right down to where the neck is going to be, which is about right there. Of course, the neck comes down. And this is all darker. You see this on the picture, how this part's darker? Hair still comes down this way. So she's got this straight flowing hair, but she also has hair that is kind of curving. You got this hair that comes across, but then below it kind of flows out this way. All right. So what I've said in some of my past videos, past drawings, you know, if I want the face to stand out a little bit, this has to be a little bit darker, because if you think about it, the face is further, it's closer to you than the neck is. So the neck is going to have to be darker. So I'm going to just add some charcoal underneath here. And right now I think I'm just adding the same amount. It's all I'm just going to blend it in. I'm just putting something down there so my blending stump will be able to blend it. Looks like the hair kind of goes this way. Okay. I don't want to go too far off the page here, but let me just start adding some darker tones in here, darker tones in here. This is all really going to come to life once I start blending. Alright, how are we looking? That looks pretty cool, huh? I think so. That looks pretty neat. Let's see what we can do with it now. Let me start with the neck. I want this to bring out the face. And again, I'm just trying to look at the picture and then recreate this shape. You know, it starts off wide and it slowly is tapering down. And then even looking at the neck, this side of the neck has more shadow on it. And even down here is a little darker as it gets into like the clavicle area. So I'm just going to make that a little bit darker. Make this a little bit darker. I don't know how much detail I want to put, but she has these very slight little lines in her neck. So maybe I'll just indicate it. There's one there. There's a little one sort of here. Looks a little too dark, so I'll see if I can make those not so obvious. That might be a little bit better. A lot of times I'll glance back up at the camera. You'll see me looking up there. That's just because it's easier to look at how your drawing's coming along in a tiny, you know, shrinking it down. So I look at it in the little preview window of my camera. Alright, so let's start adding, making the hair look more realistic. Using my finger to just blend it in. See, what's going to happen is the charcoal's going to go from the dark areas over to the light areas, and it's going to start to create these like little highlights. So see, it's already looking like real hair on the video. That's pretty cool. I like doing that. And this is just sort of like phase one. This is like, or I should say like pass one. I'm not even doing anything except blending the charcoal in. But we're going to start adding more. We're going to start, you'll see, what we're going to start, after we blend it here, we're going to do a little bit more to it. We're going to add darker values. We'll get our eraser and start adding some little highlights and cool little things. I just realized I didn't have to draw ears this time because her hair is covering. That's pretty cool. I'm not the best at ear drawing. Alright, so right now it looks like this is really bright and highlighted, and we're not going to leave it like this. But, so now we're just doing some more, adding some more value to the hair. Comes out. Comes out this way. Again, I don't know how much I want, you know, how much detail I want to put in here. Trying to be mindful of the shape of the hair. Again, a lot of the person's likeness is actually, if you're trying to look at a picture, a lot of the likeness is going to come from how the hair is. Alright, so it's looking pretty good on the camera, but you know, of course, in person I'm seeing things a little bit differently than you probably are, and I'm not super thrilled with some of the things I'm seeing. So this is kind of the stage of the drawing where I start making these little fine adjustments. And I might end up eventually going to a time lapse here because a lot of the drawing is done. You know, a lot of times what helps in a drawing is, you know, the beginning part, getting started. You know, so if you're watching this video, you might have wanted to watch to find out, how did we lay it out? How did we get proportions? Well, we've already covered all that inside the, you know, in the first couple hours. So this is all just like fine-tuning stuff, and I think what I might do is just pretty soon here go to like a time lapse of the last, you know, it might take me, I might work on this for another hour, but if I time lapse it so it's only about 5 minutes long for you, it'll make the video less, you know, more manageable. It won't be quite as long. I mean, it's still a long video, don't get me wrong, but I think I might end up doing that just so it doesn't go on too long. And then if anybody has any questions, or you know, if you see something in the time lapse, let me know, and I'll definitely be able to answer those questions. But on this stage, I'm just going through and trying to look at the picture, look at the camera, look at my drawing, see what I miss, see what I can add. You know, I'm adding some tone around the nose to bring the nose out a little bit. All right, well, someone's at my door, so you could see the drawing's just about done proportionally. So from here on out, I'm going to time lapse it, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you next time.